Let's do it one more time, please. Breathe in. And breathe out. Cecilia was the definition of community. She was the definition of love, the definition of motherhood, of radical hospitality. She embodied so many virtues that people can only write about. But she was them. She was that divine power that we all know, that we have all experienced in this room. Tonight we're going to, most importantly, we just want to center that we want to be kind in this space. We want to be kind with everyone. We know that there is so much happening in the world, but at this moment, we just want to allow people to breathe in peace, with love, and most importantly, with respect.
Yeah, I grew up. She's my mother.
Everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. Everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home. You're like a dream come true.
She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction in her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household, and she does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her. Many women do noble things, but not many can surpass them. Cecilia was that. A noble woman, a revolutionary woman, a radical force of power and strength, unimaginable strength, and an artist, a visionary. So I want us in this moment to hold on to that. Cecilia, honestly, it would behoove everyone in this city, every lawmaker, every, what do they call it, political advisor. We must set up housing in honor of Cecilia Gentili. It must happen! It must! For the people in this city, for the people in this room. I know so many of us truly are in the most agony that I can't even begin to explain. It's indescribable, this pain. But what I can describe is the first moment I met Cecilia. She was marching, and she was so, I had never heard anyone speak so powerfully and beautifully about trans people, about sex workers, about literally the and you feel completely connected to a space at a time that is indescribable. But I can describe that moment, and it truly felt like home. And we will continue to be a home for everyone else that is not here, the folks that couldn't be with us today. So we're holding space for those that are sitting shut in, those that are truly navigating time and space. But we want to hold space and give reverence and love, because truly that is what Cecilia would have wanted. And most importantly, to know that there are people outside of this room, there are people outside of the sanctuary that still need us, that still need her love, that still need the work that she is committed to, the work that she has cultivated. We cannot let it stop.
I've known Cecilia for 20 years. We met at Go Sushi in the village. It was the very first time I met her, and we were surrounded by all the girls, and she was like, "What's your name?" And I didn't know any better. And I came in there with like a whole contacts, and eyebrows, and my hairline, and everything. She was like, "You're trans." I was like, "No, girl, I'm a weekend warrior." She was like, "Okay, girl." And I was like, "But I like that lipstick." And she was like, "Do you?" "You have it!" So she just took out her lipstick. Now, granted, my girlfriend was like, "Bitch, if you take that lipstick, I will slap the shit out your face." But the fact that she was willing to literally take off the makeup, that speaks volumes for who Cecilia was. It was to the point where I had to be careful what I said to her, because I'm like, "You know, girl," she's like, "What's wrong? I'm like, this chair hurt." 2 days later, I got a chair. So it was very, like, I had to be very careful what we said to Cecilia. Because Cecilia, money wasn't a thing. She didn't care. She would give you the shirt off her back. And she loved all of us. There was nothing I wouldn't do for that woman. I had to, like, "Girl, you know, I think about something. You have a preview in the morning. What are you doing?" "Smoking, and I'm playing video games. About to go to bed." "Well, you know we have a proposal." "All right, girl." I never said no to that woman, because that woman would never say no to me. And it's so hard to see and know that she's not there. Just like even like the stupid things. Like someone on Instagram like, "Girl, you got body." Get ready to send her some shit with like literally the second person that I was sending something in on. I'm just like, how many times I had to catch myself? "Sorry, Oscar, you might see some things in that mailbox." But it's so hard now saying that my older sister is not there.
When I came out in the early 70s down here, there was a bar called the Kettle of Fish.
Yes.
That was for them. Stonewall was for us.
Yeah.
And we did not mingle until it came time of the AIDS diaspora. And then we wanted to have these groups for healthcare and AIDS. What I didn't realize that in the bigotry and the racism and the transphobia that we experience amongst each other, that we are our worst enemy when it comes to helping people of trans experience.
Come on.
Y'all, I said it, and many balls in this documented, y'all are my sisters and my brothers. I not only will advocate for you, I am willing to die for you.
Cecilia did not care about politics, not the infighting. She cared about how we move our people forward. How do we bend that arc towards justice? That is what she dedicated her life to. That is what she has dedicated her life to. So that means that we also have to continue that. As a community, we must keep each other accountable. A confidant, a mentor, a mother, a sister, a beacon, an accountant, all right now, a lover, a dutiful wife, an inspiration. We cannot call ourselves leaders and move like we're not leading the people. We have an obligation. There are things that have happened in the past, and we must heal from that has happened in the past. We cannot bring that shit into here. We cannot bring that pain in here. We have so much more to do. We have so much work to do. But in this moment, we will take time to rest. We as a community will take time to heal, to mourn, and to grieve. But we will do it with compassion. Let the people say amen.
Amen. Amen.
I remember the first time I had a microphone in my hand. It was on Christopher Street. And I remember I had this little nappy little blonde wig. I was working at Till Death. I thought I was the ish. He told me nothing. And she said, "Here." And I sat and I was like, what am I going to say? And I didn't know the microphone was on, and people started laughing. They were like, well, what is she going to say? She said, "You got it." And it was her and Lala Zanel. And I started to speak. And by the time I finished, people were clapping and crying. She said, "I had it." I remember falling and people turning their backs on me. And I remember that she was there for me in my darkest hour. You remember Peter picking me up and driving me just to have talks with me to make sure I was okay when no one else did. There's so many people in here that Cecilia had touched. She was my sister. She was my mentor, like many of us. When I was out there lobbying, and she said, "Come lend your voice," and I joined on to the Trans Equity Coalition, and they said we couldn't do it. And we raised $1.8 million for Cecilia. That's just a little bit of what Cecilia did. Cecilia laid the foundation for the Corn Clinic that's at housing work so sex workers like me can go and get the sweet care without judgment. Cecilia was a mother to me, and I wondered what it would look like without her. And last year, around December, she gave me an award. And she said to me that when I fell, she hoped she was a part of me getting up. And I didn't have the chance to tell her, but I'll say it in front of you. She not only gave me the strength to get up, she was the shoulder of many in this room who I stand on that helped me to get up.
Yeah.
And it is because of that I'm still here. And many other people in this room, like Mara Zanel, Chanel Lopez, Sean Coleman, Cayenne, and Queen, we are a community.
Yeah.
And this is the time when everyone has set aside the bull crap.
Yeah.
And we here. And this is the power of Cecilia.
Yeah.
I just got here, so I don't know how it goes. Cecilia, how do you say it?
Cecilia!
Cecilia! Cecilia! Cecilia! Cecilia! Cecilia! Cecilia!
Her book is fucking amazing, and right? Dalton, fucking amazing, and her show, Renegade, is fucking amazing, and if you guys read that book, if you read that book or you saw that show, she talks about some heavy-ass, awful shit in there, and she does it, it's so funny. It's like, funniest book about sexual abuse you'll ever read. It's true. Rio, I remember your wedding, and Creighton, I remember when you were giving the toast and you were crying. And she was like, "Stop crying, bitch. I told you, no estrogen for 2 weeks." I remember how when she called you a whore, it meant she loved you. And like all of us, I'm overwhelmed with grief right now. Something that I look forward to is seeing her light reflected in us, in the grace and the irreverence and the absolute cunt that she taught us to bring every day in the very beautiful and the very difficult things that we do.
Let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream, getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand. Will you share this with me? 'Cause starting without you.
How do you explain that it's a motherhood that is so earthly and yet so divine, that it has deep roots and touches every single one of us, ties strings between our hearts and brings us here today? But there is active legislation right now in New York State that Cecilia co-wrote. It's a bill to decriminalize sex work, fully decriminalize sex work. We have so much work to do from so many different facets of life. Cecilia understood how to do that holistically. From art, right? The way she wrote, the way she acted on stage, to politics and legislation, sure. But most importantly, it was how she mothered. And how the nourishing of another person's mind and soul and heart was one of the most important and critical pieces of her practice as an artist, as a mother. And next Thursday, St. Patrick's Cathedral. From 1 to 4 on Thursday. So make sure you ask for it all. Training for church. And when we think of Cecilia's legacy and what we will be breathing and bringing forth in life as we remember her, remember that earthly and divine motherhood that should be defined. Do that in all of the work that you're doing, in the way in which you navigate and treat others, read others. And in doing so, you'll honor her legacy.
Dear Heavenly Creator of our understanding and our holy ancestors, we ask in this moment that you welcome and usher into the gates, into paradise, our beautiful goddess, Cecilia Gentili. We ask for protection over everyone in this space. We ask for protection and safety and a deep covering over every sibling that is here and then every sibling that was not able to be here. We ask for deep covering over this entire nation in this moment. That fear has consumed the minds of so many people that they are too afraid to fight for freedom. That fear did not live in Cecilia's body. It occupied no rent in her mind. She was free, she was divine. We ask all these things in your holy, humble name because we truly know that there is no liberation without queer and trans and sex worker and immigrant liberation because we indeed are the blueprint of civilization, of humanity. We ask all these things in your holy, humble name. And let the free people under Cecilia's vision, gathered and wrapped in her arms, held to the highest esteem, say amen. I share, I need. Thank you very much. Thank you, family.
Cecilia, Cecilia, Cecilia.